Welcome to Rio Salado Sportsman's Club.
Okay, when we arrive at the range, the first thing we're going to do is bring our unloaded and bagged firearms over to the long gun staging area. We're going to put them on this table. Before I do anything else, I'm going to make sure I've got my eye protection and my ear protection. Eye protection is mandatory at all times while on the Rio Salado property. Ear protection is required at all times when you're on a stage. If your eye or ear protection falls off while you're actually shooting a stage, please don't try and soldier on and complete the stage. Stop, tell the RO, he'll reset everything and we'll get you to reshoot. We don't want anybody to lose their hearing or their eyesight just because they wanted to get a good time on a stage. So my long guns can stay here in the long gun staging area, but my handgun can't be handled here. For this, I have to go to the safety area. This is the safety area. This is the area where I can do any handling of my handgun that I want to do. So I'm going to unbag my empty handgun, check that it's empty, drop the hammer, put it in my holster. Other things I can do here, I can do practice draws, I can do dry fire. If I want to, I can do cleaning, maintenance of any firearm in the safety area. What I can't do is handle ammunition. Magazines or ammunition can be on the belt, but I'm not allowed to take it out and play with it while I'm in the safety area. It has to stay on the belt or outside the safety area.
All right, what are you doing here in the safety area?
I'm just lubing the bolt.
Why do you come to the safety area to do that?
Because it's the only place you can work on your gun.
Perfect.
This is the written stage briefing. This is where you want to come at the beginning of every single stage. It's very important that you read this stage briefing, the one that's posted at the stage. We do try to email them out ahead of time, but sometimes things change. So you're going to want to come here and take a look. There's several important things that you want to address here. First of all, identify which classification that you're shooting in. In this case, if I'm shooting PCC, I'm going to go with the blue. If I'm shooting two gun, I'm going to go with the big right here. You want to start out and understand the likely and minimum round counts. Make sure you have enough ammo to shoot the whole stage, and always check the start position. When you understand the start position, this is where you're going to go and the position that you're going to assume to actually begin the stage. Then understand the procedure and count through each of the targets. Make sure that you know and can identify out on the stage where each of these targets are, because there's often a hidden one.
Okay, when I come to stage my rifle, I'm going to want to make sure that it's on safe and the muzzle is down into the staging location. If I'm staging my rifle in a barrel, it's going to be loaded, safety on, muzzle down in the barrel. On this stage, I'm going to start with my handgun. When I finish shooting targets with my handgun, I'm going to abandon it in this handgun abandonment bin. I have a striker-fired handgun. It's double action only, so all I have to do with no manual safety is simply dump it in here. If I have a firearm that has a manual safety, I have to put it on safe before I put it in the bin. My other option is to have it completely unloaded. That's also okay. So on safe or empty. Before I shoot, I'm going to want to walk through the stage and figure out where all the targets are and how I'm going to shoot at them. On this stage, there's a long distance target right up on the hill, and I've decided that I'm going to bring my rifle, drop down here with the bipod, rest the bipod here, and shoot up onto the hillside. In doing so, I've noticed that the top of the car here is really hot, and I don't want to burn my arms, so I put on elbow pads to protect my elbows as I'm shooting. In some cases, I'm going to want knee pads or other protective equipment. This is one of the things you want to figure out before the buzzer goes off. I'm about to shoot, so I better get myself ready. In this long gun staging area, I can unbag firearms, long guns. Notice that I place my long gun in my case pointing into the safe direction. Before I go to shoot, I've decided I'm going to use a bipod on this stage. So I'm going to go ahead and take my bipod and attach it to the rifle. And now I'm ready. This is the preload area. So the on-deck shooter is going to load all the firearms required for the stage right here. Fully load, safety on command from the range officer.
Make ready.
At this point, I can check my optics, make sure I like the sight picture. I'm using these images of targets here to make sure my illumination is good. All right, so my rifle, I'm happy with. It goes in the barrel muzzle down. Now I'm going to load my handgun. And back in the holster. Now I wait until the RO calls me over to shoot the stage.
Come on down. Make ready. Are you ready? Stand by. If you're finished, unload, show clear. If clear, hammer down and flag. Hand me your rifle. Unload, show clear. If clear, hammer down, holster. Range is clear.
All right, now I finished the stage. I'm just going to take my unloaded rifle, put it back in my case, and zip it up, and we're off to the next stage. Now that I've finished with my handgun, either on this stage or for the whole match, I'm going to come back to the safety area and rebag it.
If you picture the back berm and take a line parallel to the back berm all the way back wherever the shooter is, that line parallel is the 180. The muzzle must point inside of that 180 degree mark or else you're going to be disqualified. So that means if you come here, if your rifle comes back to about this angle, the RO is probably going to call muzzle as a warning. Once you hit the 180 and go beyond, you're going to call stop and it's time to go home.
When we come to scoring paper targets, we need to look for the scoring lines, which are these perforations you'll see impressed into the cardboard of the target. We have an A zone, a C zone, and then a D zone on the outside here. For each shoot target is required to be neutralized by the shooter. And to neutralize a target, they either need to put 2 hits anywhere on the target or 1 hit in the A zone. So this target here, you can see we have 1 hit in this central A zone. It's good to go. This target down here, we also have a C zone and a D zone hit, 2 hits, also good to go. So both these targets are neutralized. However, oops, we've also got a hit on a no-shoot target here. So brown targets are shoot targets, white targets are no-shoots. And this no-shoot picked up a hit here, so the competitor's also going to get a penalty for that. So stay away from the white targets, hit the brown targets, make sure there's enough holes there to neutralize each target.
Identify the malfunction and clear it in a safe manner. Remember, you've got a timer on, but the only way to have a worse time than having a malfunction is to get sent home early. So clear it safely, make sure it's pointing in a safe direction. Once it's cleared, get back to re-engaging those targets. If you run out of ammo, hopefully you've got spare mags. If you don't have spare mags, you've learned a valuable lesson on how much you need to pack for the next stage. If they're yelling finger, what that means is you're either clearing a malfunction, you're reloading or something else, and your finger is still in the trigger guard. So in that case, immediately index your finger on the side of the receiver or frame and make sure that it's safely out there, and then continue to do whatever you were doing. Absolutely. If you ever feel uncomfortable, if you ever feel unsafe, if you ever feel unsure of what you're doing, you can always stop. Unload your weapon, show clear.
All right, if this is your car, pulling the bag out of the car. We got the long gun staging area.
Yeah, notice this is the only place it's okay to take your gun out of the bag. Is right here in the staging area because we're pointed into a berm.
Flagged. Set it near the preload area. Scott is already preloaded.
Ready to preload?
Yep, make ready.
Already.
Okay, you're gonna wait here until the RO calls you over.
Seconds.
All right, next
It's a missed target. Unhit target.
I thought you were going down.
Plus 10.
Yeah, 10.
Oh, man. If I go home 28 seconds.
Make ready. Are you ready? Stand by.
Flag gun in the case.
And then,
Safe to transport.
then you either reset the stages or on to the next stage.
One of the ways you can give back to the sport is to help us set up and tear down the matches. Not only will you get a really good sense of accomplishment, we'll give you your match for free and help you out a little bit with your expenses for coming up here and burning up your gas.